Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and we're back to one of my favorite games of all time, Exceed, the fighting game. Although, what I'm looking at today is called something a little bit different. It's a new crowdfunding campaign for Guilty Gear Strive, which is sort of a rebranding because it's still definitely Exceed and still cross-compatible with everything else. And I'm going to show that off today because if you didn't already know, I designed years ago and I've continued to update a unofficial solo mode for Exceed, where the enemy fighter is controlled by some AI rules and such. Now, I have not created that for the Guilty Gear characters because all I've got is the free 2-character demo they were sending out, and I am taking, for my control today, Soul Bad Guy. I've never played Guilty Gear, but they got the naming on point. Soul Bad Guy? He's the only one? I love it. So he's going to be going against another bad guy back from Season 3 of Exceed, Street Fighter. I'm doing a fighting game crossover match here. Vega with his mask and his pretty face and his Wolverine claws. We're going to see who can emerge victorious, and usually my AI beats me, so I'm not expecting to be the winner here. And quick disclaimer that Level 99 has sent me some Exceed stuff in the past as I worked on my solo mode, and I've worked with one of their employees, Marco. He's helped me out with some of the solo development. But again, this is a completely unofficial solo mode, and I'm not receiving any compensation from them or anything. And the only reason I'm doing this video is because I love Exceed, and the fact that they have a new crowdfunding campaign is an excuse to film more Exceed and play more Exceed. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, if you like me working on solo variants and such, feel free to support us at Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also watch our separate streaming channel for even more content, listen to our weekly podcast, or join the conversation on our Discord. All right, now's the portion of the video that you can skip if you've watched any of my Exceed videos before or played them before. I'm going to go over the basics of the game. So Exceed is played on a fighting mat. You don't see all the spaces here. I'm zooming in a little bit. But you have cards representing the fighters. They have a regular side and an exceeded side, which levels up their little special power here. And the game is controlled through a unique deck of cards for your character, although you do share some basic attack cards with other characters in the sets. And every card has an attack in the upper half. It has the range in spaces that your attack can hit, the amount of damage it'll deal to the other player, the speed, which is a tiebreaker for whose card resolves first. Like if one of us played a cross with speed 6, and the other one played a Night Raid Vortex, that's a cool name, with speed 2, then the cross would happen first and get resolved first, and then the other person would potentially resolve their attack second. Some attacks will have an armor stat, which will cancel some of the power damage, and some will have a guard. Guard is really important. It controls whether you're stunned, because when your attack is second, if they did more damage than your guard plus armor combined, then your card never happens. Not only is it slower, but you just got stunned by their attack. So here that would not be the case. The cross would deal 3 damage, but 3 does not exceed the 6 guard, so they would still get to resolve all the stuff on their Night Raid Vortex. Although the cards will have special effects, like in the cross's case, they retreat 3, so there's a good chance they wouldn't be in range of this attack anymore. Well, maybe they would, before close 3 toward the other opponent. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things and tactics going on with the attacks on the cards. Each card also has a bottom part called its boost. In older sets, they would have a cost in force. So let's see, I'm trying to find one. There we go, there's one that costs 1, so you'd have to discard a card from your hand usually to pay for that. But in the new Guilty Gear set, they instead have this little clock symbol and a 1, and that goes into the new canceling mechanic for Guilty Gear, which I'm not going to explain yet. But yeah, so you'll have a hand of these cards, and what you can do on your turn is you can strike, which means you secretly put down a card to attack with, your opponent secretly puts down a card to defend with, and you see who goes first and how much damage you deal and move around and all that kind of stuff. You can also, for your actions, spend cards to move. You can just draw more cards if you've gained a gauge. So whenever you hit somebody successfully, you get the card into your gauge. And if you've gained enough gauge, it's 3 for Soul Bad Guy, and 3 for Vega as well, you can spend it to flip over to your exceeded side, which is going to give you a cooler power. But you can also save your gauge for ultra attacks, which have a gauge cost, to do some big, awesome super attack on people. And you each have 30 life, and first to go down to 0 loses. And yes, the mat I'm playing on does have a little life tracker system, but I've also got these nice ones from Sentinels that will keep it always in the forefront. So there we go. Soul and Vega, welcome to your life. And to quickly talk about my Automa system, so it just needs a D6, and then you can print out cards. It's become quite a big document over the years because I've done every character for the last 4 releases of Exceed, like dozens and dozens of characters. But basically, how it works is the AI rolls a die and then compare it to the number of cards in their hand, because generally in the game, when you have more cards, you have more options, you can do better stuff. And that's going to determine whether they attack for their turn, move, or they can do what's called a boost and draw. So one of the actions you can take is just to play a card for its bottom effect, or you can draw cards. For the AI, they combine that into one attack. And then also if they roll an odd number when they can afford to exceed. So in Vega's case, if he has 3 gauge saved up, they will exceed instead of taking the regular turn. You'll see more details as we get into the play, but let's go into some of the new things for this new set, the Guilty Gear set, and meet our characters. So Vega, again, is from Season 3 of Exceed, the Street Fighter set. His big thing is, in the video game, if you didn't know, he would be able to leap off of the cage or whatever it was. I think he was in Barcelona or something. So they kind of model that here. If he's at the edge of the arena when he sets his attack, if it's a special or ultra attack, so not one of these normal attacks that has a different icon, he gets +2 power. And if he exceeds, he gets +3 power and +1 speed for the same thing. So how's that reflected in his AI? Well, he tends to attack at range 1 to 4, whereas most of the AI characters only attack at range 1 to 3 because he has longer range attacks in general. And then when he's prioritizing where to move, he likes to move towards the edge of the arena, whereas most characters like to move towards the center to not be boxed in. All right, but how about Soul Bad Guy? When he strikes, if he cancels this turn, he gets +1 power. And when he exceeds, he gets to strike for free that turn, and then any turn he cancels, he gets +2 power. Which goes into, for you Exceed veterans, what is new about the Guilty Gear Strive set. So as I already mentioned, first of all, boosts never have a cost anymore. They used to sometimes force you to discard cards from your hand or spend force in some other way. Instead, they all have this little clock with a 1 symbol, and that is the cancel symbol. What it means is when I, for my action on my turn, choose to boost, play a card for its bottom effect, usually my turn would be over and I would just draw a single card after doing that. But in Guilty Gear, I can spend a gauge, that same beautiful gauge that I'm using to do my super attacks and exceed and everything, to cancel, which, by the way, does not cancel the boost. It's a little bit of a confusing terminology, but I know it's the fighting game thing. So it lets me take another turn immediately. I can take another turn. So even though I just got a cool boost, I can immediately do something else. And in Soul Bad Guy's case, when I do that something else, if that something else happens to be an attack, I'm going to get +1 power. So it basically gives you 2 turns for the price of 1, as long as the first turn, well, not for the price of 1, for the price of a gauge, which is not inexpensive. But as long as the first turn is playing a boost, you can cancel it, spend a gauge, take a second turn right away, which will often let you combo cool things together, and then get a boost for soul. So alrighty, right, let's get into this grudge match, Soul Bad Guy versus Vega, and see who wins. So we'll roll for who goes first. Vega, what you got? 3. Soul, you got a 4. I'm going first. That means we're going to start with 5 cards, but you can mulligan, discard as many as you want, and redraw. But actually, at the moment, I don't mind my cards too much. The dive is good since we start out at long range from each other. I can't afford the ultra gauge attack for my Tyrant Rave, but I really like the boost on it to do extra damage. I've got a mix of high and low speeds. I will stick with it. Now, the AI's cards are always secret, but you do need to know how many they have, and you can kind of keep them spread out like this, or splayed out in a little fan, however you want to do it. So they start out with 6 cards since they went second. And what does Soul Bad Guy want to do? Well, I can tell you for free, I want to get closer to Mr. Vega over here because he tends to be able to hit from way farther away. Whereas I'm more of an up-close and personal kind of guy. The only thing that could get me up to him right away for an attack would be the dive. It's not that fast, though, so he might stun me. It does do 5 damage, and it lets you advance 3, which means move straight forward and even past the person 3. And if I advance past the opponent, their attack can't hit me, so if they play a really strong but slower speed attack. But I could just play it now to get right in Vega's face. But again, if he plays something with a higher than 4 speed and hits me for any amount of damage with his long range, I would be out of luck. But actually, Vega's special attacks aren't really usually that fast. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to strike for my first turn and play a dive. Now, a key concept in my little AI system is that sometimes the opponent guesses what you were doing, and sometimes they just kind of wildly play a card and hope that it's good. So that's controlled by a d6 roll. At standard difficulty, a 1 or 2 will have them read my attack. So he guessed that I was going to play a dive, and he'll try to play the perfect counter for it. On a 3 through 6, he'll just kind of play the first card that sort of applies. That's not great. So what that means is we're going to flip cards one at a time until he gets one that wins, which means he knows I'm playing a dive. He gets to perfectly consider what I'm doing, and once he gets a card that'll deal more damage than he's taking from me, he'll pick it. So Bloody High Claw, that would cost 3 gauge. You can ignore that. Block would let him block my dive's damage, but not deal any damage back to me, so that would be a tie instead of a win. He doesn't want to do that. Rolling Crystal Flash, +1 speed for each space between you and the opponent. Oh, you sneaky little Vega. There's 3 spaces, which means this would go from 2 speed to 5. My dive was 4 speed, so he's going to stop flipping. He's found one that will hit me, and then I'll be stunned, so I want to hit him back. He's going to win the strike. And he'll discard the 2 cards that we saw and draw face-down replacements, so that I don't know things about his hand because of his revealing. So yeah, this isn't my favorite. Not my favorite. So what's he do? Before the attack, he closes 5. Like I said, he has a lot of range. He just rolls at me as I'm about to dive over him. And then he hits me for 3 damage, and then if he hits me, he pushes me 3 spaces. Oh my gosh, you jerk. So I'm not too hurt, and hey, he is closer like I wanted him to be, but I am shoved in the corner. At least he's not in the corner to jump off the wall like he likes to. Because he hit me, he gets this to his gauge, so he's got 1 gauge. My card, I was stunned, so it just gets discarded and doesn't resolve anything on it. Wasn't that a lovely turn of events? What else has he got in store for me? Now we're going to do his first actual turn. Let's kind of walk you through this the first time. So first I see what range he's in. He's in striking range. He's 3 away from me. Although for Vega, striking range for him is 4 because, again, he tends to have really long range cards. And he currently has 5 cards in his hand. So I'm rolling a die on a less than number of cards results. So a 1 through 4, he'll strike. On an equal to result, he'll strike. So the only way he won't attack me is if he rolls a 6, which, makes sense for the situation we're in. And yeah, he is indeed going to strike. All right, so he's at range 3. Could play Gunflame. That's, again, pretty fast. It was lucky that he got a card that was faster than mine. Or Volcanic Viper. If I didn't initiate the attack, which I didn't, I would get +2 armor. Now, it's only 1 to 2 range. Oh, and it's too fast, though. I was going to say I could wait for him to, come towards me. But no, my attack would probably go off before he even moved. I could also just choose to Wild Swing with the top card of my deck, but Gunflame seems like it has a pretty decent chance to hit him. And even if he's not stunned, I'll get +2 armor and charge in towards him after the attack. So yeah, we'll just hope that he's slow again. What we really hope is that he doesn't roll a 1 or a 2 to read my attack again. Okay, good. So when he doesn't read, he's doing what's called a panic attack in my AI system. And what that means is he's going to flip cards until he gets one that has range to me, basically, with any movement on the card and such. So he totally ignores my card. He doesn't know what I'm doing, but he knows he's at 3 range. So Spike at range, this is going to work out great for me, at range 3. So in this case, I have 5 speed, he has 3. By the way, whoever initiates the strike, whoever's turn it is, they win ties, which didn't matter here. So I go first. So I'm going to attack him for 4. And he has 4 guards, so he is not stunned. But I have returned the favor after his little annoying roll there. And then it says hit, gain advantage. That means I will take the next turn. Now, I was going to take the next turn anyway, so this doesn't really matter. But if it had been my turn and I hit him with this, I would have gotten another turn in a row. And then I get after +2 armor and close 2. That's the important part. Because his beautiful card would have ignored my armor, would have ignored any guard I had, would have hit me for a whopping 5 damage, but it's range 2 to 3. And I got too close, so he shot something over my head. This time his card is discarded, and I get the gauge. Feeling good about that. All right, now we're going to kick his butt. We're going to try to, using the new mechanics. All right, here we go. So first, where is it? Yes, Flame of Corruption. So this has a plus next to it, which means that it is a continuous boost, so it just kind of stays around until we have an attack, and then it modifies that attack. So here it's modifying the attack to say, before I attack, before I resolve my card, I will close 1, and if I couldn't close 1 because I'm already next to them, I get +2 power. I'm next to him, baby. So that's +2. And normally playing a boost would be my whole turn, but we're going to discard the gauge I just earned from hitting him to cancel, which means I get to take an extra turn, which means with Soul Bad Guys ability, I get +1 power. So what's that now? +3 power? And how about a Volcanic Viper? If I initiated the attack, +2 more power, and it's 5 speed. So he only has a few cards in his deck that are fast enough to stop this hurting that's about to come to him. All right, so we'll keep that with the boost, and we'll see how things go. I would really love for him to not get a 1 or a 2 right here and read me. I would love for that to happen. Oh, thank God. Okay, so he just wants something that's at range 1. No, you piece of Jesus deuce. Oh, God. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's fine. It's not really fine. He is getting Grasp and Cross might have been the only 2 cards that were fast enough to stop what I was doing, and he got one of them. It's fine. Okay. So I'm not stunned, but I don't have any movement. So his attack resolves first, and it's speed 7. He does 3 damage to me. I do have 3 guard in my Volcanic Viper, so I'm not stunned. My card can still do stuff, but I do take the 3 damage. But then here's the nasty part. He can move me 1 or 2 spaces. So he could throw me past him. He could throw me into the wall. The AI generally wants to throw you into the wall, so you're kind of trapped. And especially here, because my 1 to 2 range attack won't hit at range 3. This is the worst. I was so happy about my combo, Vega. So yeah, and then I try to attack with, what was it? 3, 5, oh, wait, hold on. Yes. I forgot my stupid close 1 thing. It was supposed to be for +2 power, but it doesn't have to be. Guess who's back? Back again. Gonna kill you. All right. 3, I initiated. +2 power. 5, I don't get the bonus for not closing, but I don't care. +1 power from canceling. 6, and yeah, Grasp has no armor. Down to 20. All right. Wasn't quite what I was planning, but I will take it. Thank you, Tyrant Rays, for saving my life there. And by the way, just for a quick gauge check-in, he's got 2 gauge and I've got 1. And he's got 3 cards. So what's he going to do? Oh, he's attacking again. He wants revenge. And I'm not surprised because I only have 1 card. Should I? No, this is a range 1 only. So I am wild swinging. And I can go ahead and flip it. Okay, 2 range, so I could hit him. But even though it's a wild swing, he could still read the mind of my deck, and he does. All right, so what's mine doing? Let's bring it over here for reference. So we're at 2 range. I'm going to close in at speed 4, hit for 5 damage, push 1, and then close 1 again. Just kind of chase him. So rolling Crystal Flash. There's only 1 space between us. That would only be 3 speed. Not fast enough. He's ignoring it. Sky High Claw would also be too slow. Ignoring it. And another Sky High Claw would also be too slow. So, oh, wait, but you know what wouldn't be too slow? An EX attack. So when you get 2 of the same cards, then you can do what's called an EX attack. Now, in my rules, I have different ways this can be resolved. You can flip over their entire hand every time they attack and see if they have a pair, and then they'll play it. I don't like to do that as like kind of the standard rules because it leads to too much flipping and redrawing and flipping and redrawing. But here, obviously, it makes sense because when you do an EX attack, 2 of a kind, then you don't change your range, but everything else gets +1. So power becomes 5, speed becomes 4, and he's the one attacking. So that's going to tie my speed and have him go first. And he gets 1 guard and 1 armor, even if they're not present on the cards. So I do discard the rolling flash. He gets some random replacement. But yeah, I thought my wild swing was going to be great. Not so much. He wins the tiebreaker. His card says he closes 3. Oh, I forgot to check what he rolled for his power. So for the Street Fighter ones, they have these cards that have the critical effect on them, which is a little bit like the canceling. They can spend a gauge as they start an attack to trigger any critical abilities on the cards they played. And the AI does that when they're setting an attack if the activation roll they did at the beginning of the round was less than or equal to their gauge, which I'm pretty sure it was, because they only had 3 cards in hand and they attacked, and they have 2 gauge. See, I'm going to say that they did do a critical. They would get the gauge back if the card they revealed didn't have any critical effect, but here it does. So they're doing a critical EX Sky High Claw. Oh my gosh. So that's 5 power from the EX, 7 from the crit. Oof. Yeah, they definitely got the revenge they wanted, didn't they? And I'm stunned all to heck. So, oh, by the way, sorry. The Sky High Claw is only range 1, but it does have a before, close 3, so it does get right of my face. My card's discarded. With an EX attack, you only get 1 to your gauge, so Vega's back up to 2 gauge, and the other one's discarded. And yeah, that wasn't very nice. I only have 1 card. Now, it is actually a pretty good one. I could hit him for 5. He's only got 1 card, so the chance that he could, stop me would be very low. And then I would pull him past me and gain advantage. But without another card to follow up with, gaining advantage isn't really that helpful, and pulling him past me will put him right where he needs to be to benefit from his little gate attack +2, or fence, or whatever it was, +2 power ability. So I think I'll just draw. So anytime you don't strike, you get to draw 1 card at the end of your turn. And then additionally, you get to draw an additional card if you take the prepare action. So I'm drawing twice. Can't afford you. Ooh, but if I use this as a boost, I can get some extra power and draw like that. Okay, and Vega's almost certain to boost and draw this turn because he only has 1 card. Yep. So how this works is first he flips the top boost from his deck, and he does it if he can. In this case, he advances up to 3 spaces for a run. It costs him 0 force. So he's just jumping past me. You're not going to throw me? Then I'm going to throw myself. And then here's the thing the AI does that you don't to give them a little bit of advantage. It's a boost and draw after the boost if he didn't strike. he gets to draw 2 cards. So he's up back up to 3, ready to have some strike options. Yes, I'm not loving that. Gunflame's pretty fast. Although it's definitely better for like far away. I mean, Grasp and Cross are the real fast ones I'm worried about. And there's one of each in his discard pile. So I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go big again, so I'm going to play the boost. Find your own way. You can find your own way. +1 power, draw 2. If I hit him, that might not happen. Then I'm going to spend my 1 gauge to cancel. So now I'm getting +1 power from Soul Bad Guy's ability for canceling, so that's +2 power overall. And I'm going to actually strike for my new action with Gunflame, just because it's faster. And I want him to hit me from the fence. So it'll be, if I hit him, 6 power. I'll draw 2 cards, and then I'll get to take the next turn as well, and I'll get 2 armor. I don't know if any of that will matter, but I'll take it. Question is, will he read my attack? And even if he does, will he be able to do anything with only 3 cards to pick from? He didn't, so we just want something at range 1. Scarlet Terror. And, oh, by the way, he also could crit, but when he's responding, instead of it being his initial roll, it's the roll to see whether he reads the attack or not. In this case, he rolled a 3, and he has 2 gauge, so it does not cause a crit. And yeah, if you can tell, they're more likely to crit when they are rolling a reading attack, so they'll use it well. So the crit does not matter here, which would have gotten him to 6 speed. Oh, actually, he probably wishes he had critted. So he's going to play Scarlet Terror, but it don't matter because I'm a little faster. So I'm hitting him for 4, +1, 5, +1 because I canceled 6. He's down to 14, and he is stunned, so his attack is bye-bye. And then, yeah, close doesn't matter. I get armor doesn't matter. I do draw 2 cards, and I gain advantage from hitting him. Which means suddenly he's down to 2 cards, and I am in his face. Oh, and I got some good basic attacks to hit him with. So Sweep is a great one because it has 6 guard and 6 damage and has 1 to 3 range, so it's really just tough for them to do anything. Now, it's very slow. If he, like, really slams me with a strong attack and gets through my defense, it wouldn't be great. And Focus is similar. It doesn't do as much damage, but it has armor, a lot of guard. You get to draw a card afterward. You can't be pushed or pulled to like get out of position. Yeah, so I think I got to hit with one of those. Ooh, and let's do this. Look at this. We'll do another cancel. So Wild Throw, Smell of the Game, hit +1 power, and I get this into my gauge. So that's awesome. So I'm gonna boost with that. I'm going to spend the gauge I just got to cancel. So that's +2 power now from my ability and from this. And this will go to my gauge if I hit him. And let's go for the big money. Let's go for an 8 attack sweep in his face. All right, once again, read or not. I don't know if it matters much. He didn't, though. Oh, he's blocking. That might be his best option. I don't know if he'll survive still. Yes, it is going to hurt. So he gets hit for 6, 7, and that goes to my gauge. Thank you. This will also go to my gauge. 8 for my ability. And then I make him discard a random card, and he only has 1 random card left in his hand. And then after hit effects, he can spend any amount of force for +2 armor per force spent. So I'm hitting him for 8. He's blocking 2 automatically, and he could add more. And the AI does want to protect himself as much as possible, so he's actually going to spend all of his gauge. That'll get him to 6 armor, so he is not stunned, and this goes to his gauge as long as he isn't stunned, because 6 armor +3 guard is at least equal to my 8 power. So he only took 2 damage, but he got rid of all of his gauge except for the block he just gained, and he has an empty hand of cards. I feel fine about all of that. And yeah, no need to roll when he has no cards. We're just going to flip. So his action is choose and discard a boost in play. There aren't any, but he'll still go ahead and draw back up to 2 cards. Now, this is an interesting one. Do I draw back up? Or do I just hit him with a focus, which lets me draw a card anyway? No, because I want to do my cancel thing again. All right, so I will go ahead and draw 2 myself, slash, and a bandit bringer. Why am I bringing bandits? Like, I'm taking care of things myself. Why do we need some bandits to help me out? Leave the bandits at home, Soul Bad Guy. I'm sure all the Guilty Gear fans are just wanting to murder me right now. Oh, he got more than his hand size, so he's going to boost and draw again. Advance as far as possible. He just dipped out like a crazy person. Oh my god. For the first time this whole video, I got to zoom out to show the whole arena. I mean, in a way, that's kind of perfect for him, because he does have attacks that can, like, get to me from there, and I absolutely do not. So, yeah, well played, Vega, well played. Oh, actually, I'm a little bit luckier than I thought. I can use my dash on my slash card, boost to advance 3. I'm not going to cancel because I'll still be at really long range, so I just get to draw 1 card at the end of my turn. which is a grasp. But that brings me comfortably into Mike can fit everything on camera mode. But he's still next to that fence where he's dangerous. What's he going to do? He's going to boost and draw again. Wow, 5. All right. So the boost. Advance. What are you doing, dude? Stop wall leaping everywhere. Then he gets 2 more cards, so he's at 6. He's definitely fighting next turn. Yeah, this is the best wall leap ever because I'm directly in the center, so it makes 0 difference. He just likes the right wall better. That's the prettier wall. All right, but he's still pretty far. Let's do some damage. Yeah, let's do the Bandit Bringer. What is it? Free. We're doing the free boost to advance or retreat up to 2. So I got that focus with 2 range with his name on it. And then I'll trash one of my gauges to cancel, get +1 power, and strike with my focus. So it is now a 5 at power focus instead of a 4. Lots of armor. Give me a draw afterwards. He can't push or pull me. What are you going to do, Vega? Well, potentially a lot, especially if he reads me here. Nope. Yes, okay, so he's 2 range. Pounce. He wants to pounce. Oh, and he rolled a 3 and he only has 1 gauge, so he's definitely not critting. Now, oh, this is a lot of damage. I thought this card was weedy, but I am wrong. Because was next to the arena when he said his attack, and this is a special attack. It's not one of the basic ones. So it's +2 power. So yeah. All right, bro. He's faster than me. So he's closing 2. Then he's hit me for 7. I do have 2 armor, but wow. Good job, Vega. That was better than I thought it was. He pounced in my face. Man, I got to discard a card at random. Dude, I only got 1 card. I only got 1. Get out of here, my hand. All right, that was not good. But he did not stun me. I had exactly enough armor and guard combined to still hit him back for 5. Don't forget, my boost, my canceling bonus still happens. And I get to draw a card, because thank God, I have no cards in my hand. But even though I'm up on life, this is not the best place to be, because he's got 5 cards and I've got 1, and we both got 2 gauge. So what's Veggie Veg going to do here? He's striking, but he didn't get a 2 or a 1, so he's not going to crit since he only has 2 gauge. And what new thing did I get? I mean, everything's going to hit at range 1. 4 speed is not special to me, so I'm going to keep that and do a wild swing. What is it? Night, Raid, Vortex. He's got 6 guard? Hey, man, I'll take this. He probably won't stun me, and then I'll hit him back for 4. And, ooh, if I close fewer than 3 spaces, I get to draw a free card? Heck yeah. All right, now he has not hit that 1 to 2 reading roll. Again, we're playing on easier difficulty. I could make him read on a 3 or a 4. Ah, darn it. Okay. So he knows what I'm doing. Move my card over here to help figure it out. We're at range 1. So I'm very slow in 6 guard. Okay, focus. Pretty sure this is already a winner. Yeah, because I would do 4 damage to him, 2 blocked by armor, and then he would do 4 back to me. And yes, it wouldn't stun me, but I wouldn't block any of it. So he's going to stop right there. All right, so how's this go? I'm first. I closed 3 and I couldn't. So I draw 1. Then I hit him for 4, -2 for his armor, but he's down to 5. I mean, that's kill range right there. Of course, he hits me back for 4, and that could also be kill range depending on what he does with it. He gets to draw a card as well from the focus. Oh, we both got 3 gauge, ready to exceed, although that seems like it might not be the best idea. All right, come on, 5 damage. I could be able to kill that. No, maybe not. Like I thought, Fafnir's not fast enough for me to be confident that I'll get him. Cross is definitely fast enough, but even if I cancel, I would... Oh, and this card can't cancel, so I couldn't get to the 5 damage. Ooh, what's this? Add a card from my hand to my gauge. Oh, darn it. I thought it was the other way around. I wanted to take a card from my gauge to my hand, get like the perfect attack, and murder him. Okay, I think I have to draw and try to get something better. That's 5 damage, and a block is not really what I wanted. Okay, now he's gonna... Oh, he rolled it odd, and he has 3 gauge, and sometimes he's dumb because he spends it all to exceed, which means he also gets to draw a card. Yes, and now, if he's at the edge of the arena, he gets +3 power and +1 speed to his ultras and specials, but he's not. So that was great. I like that. Now he can't crit and stuff. Okay, so now I just gotta murder him. Wild throw. It's only 3 guard, and it's pretty slow. I'm worried that he could just get right past it. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to do Smell of the Game for +1 power and add this to my gauge if I hit. That's my boost. I'm going to discard a card from my gauge to cancel. That's another +1 power, which means now my cross would be the 5, that magic number, at 6 speed to kill him. Now, of course, if he has armor, or if he somehow gets like a 6 or 7 speed. No, I'm initiating, so he would have to get a grasp. He would have to get a 7 speed. I think both his grasps are gone. Well, the big thing here is if he can get the 1 or 2, because then he can certainly play around with 6 cards, and I'm sure find one that messes me up. But he didn't! I think this might be it. Oh, sweep? Oh, no, it's not good enough, buddy. Because while Sweep has a ton of guard, it does not have any armor. So, yeah, it was 3, 4, 5. It's good because in the 2 matches I played before I recorded, he beat me pretty badly. So I'm happy that I came back. Take that, Vega. So again, that was Guilty Gear Strive, which should be on crowdfunding when this video goes live or sometime around there. Versus one of the older Exceed characters. Again, I don't have any solo designs for Guilty Gear Strive yet, although there's a good chance I will. I mean, again, I've done the last 4 seasons. Why stop now? I've already got ideas for how to kind of make their canceling mechanic work. But that's all unofficial. If you want to go check out the official stuff, go check out the crowdfunding page. Exceed continues to be one of my favorite games ever. And I like to think, not to toot my own horn, that even though the solo mode can be a little dumb sometimes, it can also beat me repeatedly. So thanks for watching, everybody. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.